On September 11, 2001, the lives of every American citizen were changed forever. On this day, an Islamic terrorist group attacked our nation, killing nearly 3,000 people. Just weeks following this event, individuals were interviewed about their initial reactions to these tragic events that took place. Here's what they had to say.
Mark Williams, I'm age 41.
Tyler Alta, age 17.
Jay Callahan, and I'm in the 11th grade. I'm 17 years old.
What can you tell me about what you remember about your immediate responses to the events of September 11th?
I came home. I had stayed after school to practice tennis, and I came home, and I was just in shock. My mom was sitting on the couch, and she got up and said, "They've hit the towers," and we were just in complete shock. It was very disturbing to realize that that had just happened, and it was very frustrating to be over here and know that you couldn't do anything about it.
Hi, I'd like you to tell me your name and your age and where you live.
My name is George Villasenor, and I'm 20 years old, and I live in Bellflower, California.
And can you tell me where you were when you heard of September 11th?
I was home in bed, and my friend called me and said, "Oh, we're getting bombed." And I just took it like, "What do you mean bombed? In the United States? No way." But then, it was kind of different bombing. It was like, terrorism kind of bombing. And I turned on the TV, and I actually seen when the second plane hit.
You hear about the events of September 11th?
I remember I was sitting at home, and it was on TV, and the Twin Towers were on fire, and one had already fallen down. And my initial response, I was just shocked. I couldn't believe that the United States was actually being attacked, and I was just shocked.
My name is Joan Schwichtenberg.
And where do you live?
I live in Long Beach.
And tell me, where were you when you heard the news on September 11th?
I was at home, but I had a very interesting way of finding out about the news of the disaster, the tragedy. I actually got a fax from Japan, and a Japanese friend sent the fax and just told me that she was very worried about me, that I should not go to New York, and that's all she said. So I walked around for several minutes, kind of not knowing what in the world she meant, because it was the middle of the night in Japan, and I thought that's very strange for her to be up in the middle of the night and to tell me that kind of a message with nothing more. And so it finally dawned that maybe I should turn the television set on. That's exactly what I did, and realized, of course, what was happening. And by then I had missed actually seeing the tragedies firsthand when they actually happened, but was seeing kind of the reports that followed.
My initial response to the events on September 11th, year 2001, was one of amazement. Being on duty, as I watched the events unfold on television, being the curious person that I am, I first thought of how could this be happening? Was this an error in the air traffic control system of the United States, or just a lone pilot who lost his way? As we all soon found out, neither of those were true. As the information has evolved, and over time, since the events, it's evident that the act was of cowardice and treachery.
My initial reaction to the attacks were, I was actually at football practice when we were first notified of the attacks, and everybody had to move inside the building, and we didn't know what was going on. A couple of people had told me that the Pentagon had gotten hit, and I don't know, it was really surprising to me. I thought people, I was like, what, the Pentagon got hit? What are you talking about? Because that's unheard of, nobody has attacked America and Pearl Harbor or something. That's what I thought about, was Pearl Harbor when I was man, I thought it was gonna start a war or something. And then we had school off for the rest of the week, and I seriously thought that it was gonna start World War III.
Following the 9/11 attacks, George W. Bush addressed the American people, stating, "This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time. None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all that is good and just in our world."